Hello viewers and welcome to another session of Autodesk AutoCAD. In the last two sessions, we learned how we can create some spaces for windows and exhaust. Now we will start doing some placements. First, we will do the placement of doors. We will access the file saved in the last lecture, that was lecture number 9. Here you can see there is a space for the door, so we can take some other layer and start by creating a rectangle. Starting and ending points are quite obvious. There are several doors, so we will have to use the orbit command. Here you can see there are two more doors. Here is the starting point and here is the ending point. Same goes here. You can access the previous command by simply pressing the space bar. As you can see, I'm not going to rectangle or writing RECT again and again. Let's isolate and hide the base so we can easily view it. So these are the three doors created. We can use the extrude command, extrude them up till this point. They are approximately 8 feet in height. These are the simplest format for the doors. That is just creating a rectangle, giving a starting and ending point, and then extruding it to the relative height. We can do the same procedure but in another manner. We can export different type of CAD blocks from different inventories and then import them here. For instance, I have this door sample. Simply drag and drop it here, give an insertion point. We don't want any rotation, X or Y scaling here, so we will keep everything as by default. Then we can move it or copy it depending upon our requirement, and then we can place it to the relevant point. Make sure to turn on your hardware acceleration, and sometimes when you take a block from another inventory, the sizes are pretty high. The system may lag a little bit or react slowly. So I don't want to copy it, I want to simply move it. I have to select a base point. Say I want to pick it from here. Now I have to select a point where I want to place it. I can use these two doors or maybe the one at the entrance. So here we can place it like this. Make sure your snap objects are on. It is very convenient while working. Now we can scale it up. We can simply use the command scale. Here you can see it. We have to specify a base point. So let's give this base point. Now we can change the size. Let's give a reference, say length. I want this length starting and ending. And now I want it to be all the way through this point. So now our door has been placed and scaled up. You may find some flaws here because it was simply taken from another inventory and placed. You can even create your own doors like this. There is no rocket science. You can do it quickly. Let's see if we have some time and we could do it directly here. There are two more spaces, so simply copy and place them. Let's take it from this point. Copy, reference point, and place them here and here. We have this one more space. For the time being, let's create a rectangle and extrude it to save time. And then I can show you a quick tutorial on how we can create the doors like the one I have imported here. We can give the value 96, which is actually 8 feet. We can change the layers as well. We can simply select, extrude, make sure the layer is selected that you want, and here you go. Now, what if we want to create our own door in 3D model? We have to first align a specific plane. Here we are going to deal with the front view. Let's make it front as well. Now we will take a rectangle, and as we know it is 96 by 42. So 42 and 96. Here we go. Next we can do some offsets. So let's take this entire shape and offset to this point. It is 5 units. Say 5 inches. Now the next thing is to make it a little bit more convenient. We will move it in this orientation so we can actually see how we are going to extrude it. So we're going to 9 inches drop down and then take this one and move it in the same direction. But this time we will choose just 3 inches because we are going to extract it. Now moving to wireframe, we can use the subtract command. We will select the main that was 9 inches, press enter, and then the one which was inside that was 3 inches. And here you go. Now back to top view. Here we are in world and in front view. So you can see it is something like this. Back to the front view, we can get it to 2D wireframe for each axis and change it to front again. Now we can use another rectangle with an approximation. We can create a box like this. We can do with exact dimensions if we have time, but for now I'm just stalling in to show you how we can actually create decorative doors if we don't have a specific library or another inventory. Let's orbit a little bit so that we can change from 2D wireframe to conceptual or realistic or shaded, whatever we feel convenient with. So here are these two. We can select them together. If we need to press pull or we need to extrude, selecting both of them together would save some time. So let's extrude them. Now back to wireframe because we will subtract these two. First we select the main body, press enter, and then these small bodies. After pressing enter, you can change your view, and here you go. Similarly, you can create a doorknob as well. There is no rocket science. You can start with the basics and you will end up with a very nice thing. Now this door is saved in this file. So you can replace the previously created doors with this one And at some points, if you need, there is some need of scaling, you can scale them up, scale them down with the same approach I have showed you already. See, if you can see them side by side, it is quite fine than just a single rectangle extruded. This one is far better. Now you can move this one and put this one in place like this, or you can just go with that old one. It's up to you. Let's move to world again. So here's the top view. This is our isometric view. And here's the door. We can move it to somewhere else so we don't get confused with our main 3D model. Now it's time to save the file because we were doing all the changes in the last lecture file, that was lecture number 9. So here is lecture number 10 file. After we are done with the saving, we can see that the lecture 10 file is now visible on our desktop. Let's call it a day. See you in another session. Till then, take care.